Hello, and welcome to the Bel-E and Scratch podcast. I am your host, Bel-E.
And I am your co-host, Scratch.
And today, sometimes being petty pays off.
Well, sure. There wasn't any kind of reward to any process.
This was the reward. You remember the past couple podcasts I've been hemming and hawing about how the massage parlor I had previously worked at has some kind of demon in their building or whatever it is. I don't know.
A poltergeist.
Some kind of poltergeist in their building. Their management sucks, and my ex and possibly ex-best friend, and just all the soap opera I didn't sign up for, basically.
Right.
Last episode. All that went down.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to book a massage at their competitor.
Yeah.
Because that's voting with my wallet, and fuck you.
Take that.
Yeah.
Capitalism in its finest.
Yeah, when it's not doing stupid shit.
Yeah, vote with your money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, capitalism isn't a perfect system, but
Neither is anything else.
Neither is anything else. But I'd rather be here where I have the capability of getting ahead.
That's why people want to come here.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard as fuck to get ahead and to make a life, but there is that possibility.
Well, they have these ancient established caste systems that cage people.
Yeah, and they just want a fresh start, which I respect.
So they come here.
Yeah.
To North America.
I actually kind of think it's kind of screwed up how this actually might be possibly in my future one of these days, where some of their goals typically is like they make a certain amount of money here and then they go back home and they're basically the third richest person in the country.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm like, you know what? That actually might be a goal, because I'll do that. Just settle down in, like, I don't know, Central America or somewhere.
Yeah, where your base currency goes further.
Yeah, exactly. Which, yeah, that's not out of the wheel of possibilities.
No.
You know, not permanently, just something there.
Those folks need jobs, too.
Indeed. And I respect it. Anyway, so, being petty has its rewards if you do it wisely. Because here's the thing, being petty just for the sake of being petty, I don't personally believe in, to an extent.
No.
You know, but being petty in reaction to a shitty situation that you didn't ask to sign up for, like I did, I feel is justified.
Yeah.
So, here's the thing.
As long as there's you work for a positive end.
Exactly. And my positive end is fucking some people over.
All right.
I don't care how people spin that. That's the truth. That is my truth, and that is what happened. Anyway, so, where I previously worked, it was, I would say it's the base model type of situation, where, you go in, or you make an appointment, and you go in, they sit you down in like a little lounge room, they give you either paper or like an iPad or something.
Yeah.
You fill this out, your name, address, phone number, what are some places that are hurting you right now? What are some places the massage therapist or esthetician cannot touch you? Are you willing to sign up for the membership? Yada, 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 yada.
Don't touch my wallet.
Yeah, yeah. I wish that was an option.
You asked.
Yep. So, yeah, because some people are, it's like, oh, don't touch my pecs, don't touch my feet, don't touch my calves.
Sure.
Which for me personally, I don't know, maybe it's just
like a diagram on a piece of paper?
Yes.
Or do they bring this little doll out?
It's a diagram on a piece of paper. Obviously, they're not going to touch your nips or your genital area. Obviously.
Show me here on this is pretty exactly what we cannot touch here.
Exactly. But my whole thing is, look, this is a personal thing. Now, some people obviously have, more constraints on, them basically being naked in a room with a stranger, which I respect. I get it.
Sure.
But my whole thing is, all right, look, two things. Number one, if there is a problem, I want you to fix it, because that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
You know?
Ooh.
You know, like hypothetically, if you had to venture in an area that's technically off limits, I am okay as long as the problem gets fixed.
No fly zone.
Yeah, if you have to go into if you have to dip your toes into the no-fly zone, I'm okay as long as the problem is solved. Does that make sense?
That's definitely within the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
Sure.
And the second thing is, if you intentionally go into the no-fly zone with ill intentions, I'm going to stab you. Because that is my right as an American citizen. Hey, sexual harassment. I either sue you or I can kill you. You gotta pick one.
You probably get off either way.
Yeah, exactly. And plus, would you rather just, you know, I don't know if I mentioned in the past, in terms of sexual harassment, whether you did it or did not do it, hypothetically,
Right.
wouldn't you just rather have the shit kicked out of you versus losing thousands of dollars and have your name dragged in the mud?
Yeah.
You know? Because that way, say if it was like a one-off thing, you know, someone was like trying to discredit you, you just take that lump and avoid that person,
right,
and avoid that situation you got into. But if someone kept constantly getting in situations where people just beat the shit out of them, they keep showing up bruised and all that, then you start to go, I don't know about this person. I don't know.
Well,
you know what I mean? It's not perfect, but I mean,
it's like a blacksmith working on a horseshoe.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. It either needs to bend
or it'll break
to the appropriate situation, or tossed out.
Yeah.
And that's what cancel culture is all about. It's about banishing people from the online community.
I'm not 100% behind the cancel culture, because sometimes it's like, guys, you're taking it too far. But on the other hand, it's like, you know what? Yeah.
I mean, obviously it does have a positive application. Sure,
but it's like...
But it can be abused.
Yes, just like anything. But anyway, I'm trying to think. What was it? Oh, yeah. My pettiness. Yeah. All right, so where I used to work, you know, you sit down, you know, you fill out your forms, and then the massage therapist or esthetician takes you to the room. They give you the draping policy, how there's going to be a towel between, you know, covering you, and, you know, and they're not going to, you know, just strip the damn thing off and all that stuff. You know, they ask you where you're hurting, you know, what parts, you know, want to get focused on, yada, yada, yada. Do the massage, give you some moments to put your clothes back on, you go outside, you pay, and that's it. Yeah. Quick, dirty, easy.
I'd leave the dirty out of the contract.
Hey, you're getting oiled up.
The verbiage, at least.
You're getting oiled up, so at some point that will come into the context, so...
Can't disagree with that.
Indeed. So here's the thing. If that's what you're just looking for, that's fine.
Sure.
You know what? I am not going to dismiss it, you know?
Right.
You just want to get in, get your muscles, you know, all relaxed and fixed and all that. That's fine. That's cool.
I got a bent place that needs to be straightened.
Yeah, that's it.
Sure.
Where I went, that is not even remotely close to what I just paid for this past Friday. A couple days ago.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, that's fine. That was just a weird pop. Yeah, you're probably not even going to hear that on the recording, but anyway. I went to, about a month or so ago, it was probably before August, I was at a camping store. I'm not mentioning names entirely because we're not sponsored. I was getting a pair of hiking shoes because, you know, going through the forest and mountains, you know, trying to, sooner or later I'm gonna wind up at the beach. I'm just going to.
Take care of your feet, Peter.
So,
good shoes.
Yeah, I decided I'm gonna get a pair of legitimate hiking shoes because I know the technique for hiking. I just don't have the shoes. Because sometimes there's a technique for it.
Really?
Yes. And I learned it on an animu.
An animu.
Yes, and it works.
Well, you should have said.
I know. Anyway, and then, like, just across the street from this sporting goods and camping store is this heckin' big massage joint. It's not even a parlor, because parlor kind of indicates there's only certain things they do. And they do massage.
All right.
They do other stuff too.
Okay.
I'm gonna get to it. So I see that, and this is kind of an upper class district where I was at.
Sure.
And I went, you know what? They gonna be more expensive than where I used to work, but you know what? I'd rather them get my money versus the place I used to work.
That's fair.
Yeah. Plus I kind of went in there with the intention of, emotionally, energetically scoping the place out, making sure their customers and their employees weren't being abused, because that's technically where I was working at. That was what was happening over there.
Make sure everybody in there has all their teeth.
Yeah, has all their teeth. And no one looks tired, no one looks angry, and they're trying to suppress it because anyone that's worked in retail or customer service in general, they have the ability to suppress their rage in a certain way that is borderline mental illness because they have to.
No security guards.
No security guards. So I kind of went in there, I made an appointment online. By the way,
yeah.
I'm just gonna let you know, I sort of kind of picked at random what I got.
Oh, yeah.
Because I went, oh, hey, that's in my price range. Lazy day renewal. Oh, okay, that sounds cool.
Like ordering food off a French menu.
Yes. Except here's the difference. Well, no, here's where it's similar. Ordering off of a completely French menu and what I just did, it is an adventure. It's just a different. It's just different type of adventure. Because here's the ordering off the French menu. It's will this have bread? Will it have meat? Did I get a salad? It's a mystery.
That's
and
right.
It's so fun. Did I get escargot? Oh, I hope I did.
And you order off their menu, and all of a sudden they bring you a shoe with cheese on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have a shoe with cheese on it, and I want you to massage my grandmother.
Mm-hmm. Yes, her shoulders are hurting. She needs it, please.
Yeah. Gotta be careful.
S'il vous plaît. I don't know what I said. Anyway.
Ça va? Ça va.
C'est la vie.
All right.
I know what that one is.
Yeah, there you go.
What I did, that was less of a mystery and more of a that was an actual adventure.
Oh, it's like Christmas morning.
Except I was scared. Because here's the thing.
What's in this present?
Yeah, I wasn't scared in a bad way. Right. Like, oh God, I just signed up to a really dangerous place. No. Not scared like life-threatening. Scared as in, I was already trying to scope out the situation, put my feelers out to make sure this is a place I want to come back to.
Sure.
I don't know what their rules are. I don't know what their particular customs are for engaging in this place.
Yeah.
And, I'm just baffled at the layout. I'll get to that. And on top of it, I don't even know what I signed up for.
This place was a different feng shui way.
Oh, yes. This place had good energy.
Oh, sweet.
Bizarrely, it was, I don't want to say it was the exact opposite of the massage parlor I used to work at.
Right.
But the air was better.
Sweet.
Like 100% better. I couldn't fathom how much nicer, not just nicer in terms of quality, although that was there, but nicer in terms of, this place doesn't make me want to kill myself. Because the last place did. Like, I'm gonna be for reals with you. I was psyching myself up in the parking lot. That job, inside of a month, had upped me over
I've been
mentally so much that it was,
Had to Ric Flair it up in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Woo! Let's go do it.
Yeah, it was.
Raw.
Yeah, it was kind of that. It was kind of a mixture between Ric Flairing it in the parking lot, like look at myself in the mirror, like to be the man, you gotta beat the man. Woo! Versus okay, I know you and I went to see it in theaters when it came out because I was so excited. The 2018 Halloween movie.
Oh yeah.
Which it still had Jamie Lee Curtis in it. Basically retconned everything except for the first movie.
Right.
You remember the scene where they're transferring all the patients and Michael Myers on the bus, and she's in the parking lot. She's got like a pistol and she's drinking.
Right.
And she is just having a mental breakdown because, well, in context of the movie, that man tried to kill her and killed some of her classmates and friends too.
Julie Andem.
Yeah, she was just losing her mind because she was thinking about going over there and killing him just to get it out of her head. Just to get it out of her, just to end the pain. And then she just starts screaming in the car, which Jamie Lee Curtis, she can still scream. She can still scream. Damn.
She is the original scream queen.
No, her mother was.
Oh yeah.
In Psycho, that's her mom.
That's her mom.
Yeah, the woman that the shower scene woman. That's Jamie Lee Curtis's ma.
Yeah.
She's the OG, but
definitely.
Jamie Lee Curtis ain't no slouch in the scream queen department either.
No.
So it was between that Ric Flairing it up and that Jamie Lee Curtis screaming from a mental breakdown. It was somewhere in the middle.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. I have an aversion for massage places for very particular reasons. I kind of sort of broke that this past week at this fancy joint.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm just gonna go in there. I'm just gonna do it. This is different. Yeah, get it over with. I paid for it. This is
like
different
jumping
people.
in the pool instead of just getting the toe in first.
Yeah, exactly.
Just run at it and jump in it.
Just do it.
Both feet.
Yes, just do it.
Just do it. Yeah.
Just do it. All that stuff. So here's the thing: the windows. Some of the windows were completely some were kind of translucent in a way.
Yeah.
Some were completely obfuscated. Or obfuscate, however the hell you obfuscate.
The
OB, okay.
Obfuscated.
That word just trips me up.
I know, it's cool though.
Yeah. So it was a little bit translucent and all that. So I couldn't exactly see inside.
Yeah.
So I get to the door. I don't even touch the door. Someone pushes the door open for me, which I was like, that is different.
Wasn't somebody running out?
No, it was someone that worked there. No, someone that worked there apparently was the door person at that time.
Door busting open like a dentist's office.
Yeah, exactly. So, the door opens by whoever was at the door at the time.
Sure.
I walk in there, and if you've ever been to a Cracker Barrel,
yeah,
Cracker Barrel gift shop. Yeah, I walked into the upper class version of that.
But it was all like...
soaps and massage oils and bath bombs and
really?
all feminine,
Were there candles burning?
No, there were no candles burning.
No candles?
Not in the gift shop area.
Frack.
There were candles you could burn, but it was all of this feminine self-care routine environment in this little gift shop.
Were you met by a hippie chick?
I was the only hippie chick. There's a difference.
Yeah, there is a difference.
Yeah, there's a difference between the hippie store version of, just, burn some incense, light some candles, just draw a bubble bath and just meditate and relax. And have a sound bath. Versus this. Hey, look. I can't speak for I can't speak for the benefits of a sound bath, but sometimes that shit sounds awesome.
It's a little different.
Yeah.
I guess.
Like, in terms of auditory music, quote-unquote musical quality, sometimes it just sounds awesome.
Okay.
Anyway.
It's a chic little term.
Yeah, exactly.
Sound bath.
Yeah, it's like, you know those Tibetan singing bowls?
Yes.
It's like if you got like 8 to 12 of them and you just started playing multiple of them at the exact same
was that
time.
In the background?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, that's a sound bath, and it can sound awesome.
Oh, so they're also targeting frequencies.
Yeah, they're also targeting frequencies too.
Not just auditory.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hence why I say I can't speak for the benefit of it because I haven't done the research, but it can sound awesome.
Well, they always talk about different vibrations.
Oh yeah, and I do believe in the vibrations, the energies.
I don't know how far it goes, but I believe the basic theory of it is sound. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like my whole thing with I do believe in precognition, clairaudience, clairvoyance, and claircognizance and stuff like that. But I don't know how far it can go.
I know what bad vibrations feel like.
Yeah.
There's nothing positive about that. So there.
Yeah, I was in some bad vibrations.
Like a jackhammer in the street.
That's some bad vibes.
There has to be a good sound. There has to be a positive vibration. Absolutely.
And people can give off positive or negative vibes. But anyway, that's a topic for another discussion.
True.
So I go in there, obviously this is not the hippy-dippy stuff that I was used to, just in my personal life.
Okay.
This was... Here's the thing. I'm used to self-care having a clinical spin to it. I'm used to self-care having a spiritual spin to it.
All right.
This was self-care in terms of I have money and you will give me the fancy, luxurious products type of self-care. That was kind of the aspect of this gift shop. Does that make sense? From what
your motive or what they presented?
What they presented.
Or what they offered?
What they offered.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. I can go to, I can go to like, I don't know, there's stuff like muscle rehab where your self-care is like doing, your strength gripping stuff or your motion exercises or you're moving through water to get motion back in your bones and your... I don't know how physical rehab works, but you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
That's the clinical spin of self-care.
Sure.
Then there's the spiritual stuff, which is, you just gotta meditate and burn, some incense, some Nag Champa or dragon's blood, maybe even some white sage and just feel... the energy of God and the universe just shining down because he loves you. The universe loves you. That's the spiritual side of self-care that I'm used to.
Sure.
This was a different realm that I had only heard of.
Really?
It's in the same realm of the story you told me a long time ago, the doctor with the $10,000 watch.
Yeah.
You asked him, why'd you pay $10,000 for a watch? I could have got one for like just a couple hundred. And he said to you, do you have $10,000 just for a watch? You said no. And he said, that's why you wouldn't pay $10,000.
That's why you wouldn't pay $10,000.
That was the same thing.
That's all it is.
Yeah, that's the same. Yeah, that was the exact same thing that was in that gift shop. That mentality.
Yeah.
Do you have X number of money to pay for all of these essential oils and bath bombs and bath soaps? No? That's why you wouldn't pay the price for these.
And if that's what the market will bear.
And if that's what the market will bear. I didn't morally disagree with it.
Right.
But that was the projection I got.
Yeah, I grew up...
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I grew up under a national narrative where that sort of thing was a negative.
Yeah.
But,
just, spend money just because.
Yeah, it's like, that's just such a waste.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like it's the same mentality that causes people to, it's something as simply as going out to eat versus cooking at home.
Yeah,
it's always cheaper to cook at home.
Yeah.
Going out to eat just means you have a little more disposable income.
Of course.
You're just going to shoulder that and, work your way through it.
Yeah. This is definitely a place where people with disposable income will come buy their soaps and their bath bombs and their bubble bath stuff.
They just have the ability to purchase it.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I didn't look down on any of it. Not at all. Because that's just something different from what I was used to. I just wasn't expecting it. So,
Were there any rose petals on the floor?
Not in my room.
Okay.
I did spot a little bit of it in other rooms, but I'll
Really?
get to that. Yeah, I'll get to that. So what had happened was, I go up to the counter. I'm like, "Hey, I'm Jesse," or whatever, and give him the fake name and all that. It's
Right.
like,
Right.
Colby, because I like doing shit like that.
Yeah,
I'm Clint Eastwood.
that's right.
This time I just picked that name.
Hey, it's just the age of avatars. What do you want from me?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just decided to go with that name. I'm like, Clint Eastwood. So, go up to the thing, and I'm, just going up there, and it's like, "Oh, okay, click, you're checked in." And then someone, I was expecting someone, lead me to the lounge area where I fill out the form and all that stuff. That did happen, but that wasn't the first thing that happened.
Yeah.
This woman, she leads me into, kind of the back room like I expected, showed me the lounge, which was very tastefully furnished and decorated.
The pre-massage lounge or the post?
The pre- and post-massage lounge.
All right.
And then she takes me to the women's locker room.
Yeah.
Which I was not expecting.
Okay.
She takes me in there,
You thought it was going to be unisex kind of thing?
No. No, you can't do a unisex type thing because you're getting dressed in a robe and sandals.
Not around here.
Yeah, exactly. Not around here. Other countries maybe, but not around here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not exactly a bathhouse, so...
Well, that's true.
Let me phrase it. It's not a Korean bathhouse where they just don't care.
All right.
That's just their culture.
Sure.
So she basically gives me a robe and some, branded sandals. It's like, "Please change into these, and we'll, meet you back at the lounge." And I am out of my element. They have a locker with my fake name on it for me to put all my stuff in.
Right.
And, I'd get changed and put all the stuff up. I got a hair tie, tie my hair up because I know what I'm in for, technically.
Yeah.
And Jesus, I was completely out of my element.
Yeah.
Because I was like, why do I gotta get into a robe and sandals? Because that's not what I was used to. Go to the lounge, there's a glass of water waiting for me along with the forms I'm supposed to fill out, and I fill out the forms.
A full glass of water?
A full glass of water. In a fancy monogrammed glass of the establishment. Because, of course.
Free water.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
And I saw that you could also make tea. And I tried to make myself a cup of tea. And the lady comes in and she said, "Oh, I can get that for you. What type of tea would you like?" And I was so caught off guard.
Right.
Because I was like, "What do you mean you're going to make my tea?" Because apparently you get waited on hand and foot at this establishment, which is a concept that I'd heard of, but I'm not used to.
Sure.
Because you and me, we will always usually do it ourselves.
True.
We want something.
That's where I start.
Yeah, it's where you start. We want something where we're going to be the ones going out and getting it,
Usually.
Not particularly asking for help, because sometimes no one can help you.
It's always a possibility.
Yeah. And if someone can't help you, it's like, it's not a big deal. All that stuff.
Right.
So the fact that she actually made my tea, put honey and a cube of sugar on the tea cup, the saucer underneath the cup, it was just so strange to me. I was like, I'm not used to being waited on, and I was there sipping my tea after the forms were completed, and I am just freaking out, because it's like, oh God, I just ended up in the lap of luxury, and I have no idea what I'm going to do next.
Not used to allowing other people to take care of you.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's why I sometimes will pass out when I get my hair cut.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or anything else, really. And then the massage therapist lady comes in, she introduces herself. I tell her, "Hey, how you doing?" All that stuff. And we go through it, and apparently I got the special room.
Oh, boy.
Because apparently what I picked at random was essentially like, I'm getting scrubbed down with a body scrub by another individual. Then I'm getting into an actual fancy freestanding porcelain tub, and I want it because it was big enough to hold me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds nice.
It could have been a little bit bigger, a little bit longer for my legs.
Sure.
No, it was outside of a hotel. Excuse me. Outside of a hotel, biggest tub has ever held me in my life.
Yeah.
And there was seaweed in it. Because apparently that's good for your skin.
Okay.
And I had like a 20-minute soak in that, and then was the actual massage part. And I'm like, oh, this is so much better.
That sounds awesome.
It's so much better. I'm not going to go into gratuitous detail, of course.
Of course.
But I'm like, oh, this is so much better than the last place. The air was good. People make me tea. I just have to say, can I get have a cup of tea? And they just gave me tea.
Cool.
And as I was being shuffled out, they had mimosas. And if I had known that, I would have said, okay, I want 3 mimosas. 1 before the massage, 1 during the massage, and 1 after the massage. And I will be happy.
A cab.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
So, okay, that's fine. As long as it's still recording.
Have another bit like we did last week.
Indeed. It better not be dying.
No.
Okay. So, again, I'm not going into gratuitous detail. I just remember being in the tub, with the seaweed that's supposed to be good for your skin, and I'm putting in all the bath oils and all the bath soaps and the bath salts, because I paid for it.
Sure.
I'm spraying all the fancy renewal bullshit perfume, air Febreze shit, because I paid for it.
Right.
And I'm in the tub, and it's like, this is what getting petty looks like. This is what living my best life out of spite looks like.
All right.
And I remarked upon how, I just love the fact that my ex and possibly ex-best friend are just stressing themselves out, working around the clock to save a sinking ship.
It's definitely a sinking ship.
Yeah, it's a sinking ship. I'm not gonna lie. Being in a haunted building that's affecting them physically, emotionally, and mentally, and possibly spiritually. And I'm in a tub with seaweed, having my best life.
That's right. You're in a tub with seaweed.
Yes. And I am just...
Beat that.
Yeah. I am in the lap of luxury, and I earned that shit.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
A tub of seaweed, some of that high level.
Uh-huh.
That refined level.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, putting that up. All right. And that was exactly the revelation I came to while I was doing all that. Is like, I earned it by not being a fuck up.
Oh, you would have never found it any other way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know, I personally believe I did work hard to earn something like that, to earn the opportunity to have access to it and continued access to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, reward yourself.
Yeah, a reward, a big reward, because you want to keep getting it.
Right.
And that's basically my goal, personally.
Hey, if it motivates you, sure.
Yes. Like at the end of the month, I'm just gonna, get something at that place. Massage, all that fun stuff.
Right.
Because that's what I want. That's my goal. And it has allowed me to be motivated. Man, I stepped out of there. My lower back, to this day, still hurts. Because I don't know what I did to tweak it. I don't know if it's genetic, or I sat down wrong, or slept wrong, or something. But this spot where my erectus spinae meets the glute, I don't know what happened, but it hurts. That massage did help.
Right.
And I'm asking the matriarch to secure me an appointment with someone with an electric eardrum. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, keep the yoga up.
Oh, I will keep the yoga up. But the problem is that, here's the thing. I can't find anything that can actively stretch that area because it's closer to the spine. Pigeon posing stretches like out the sciatica and the outer leg muscles,
Right.
but it's not hitting that spot closer to the spine. And I'm trying to find things that's like, what are some yoga stretches that stretch out stuff that is close to the spine? I can't find shit.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to a dance thing later today, so I'll ask them, cause someone knows something.
It wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, I can't be the only.
I don't know how high the percentage of you being successful, but it wouldn't hurt.
Hey, look, my teacher, she's missing a couple of vertebrae in her lumbar set. Wait, is it the lumbar? Wait, the lower spine. Is that the lumbar? Sacral, yeah, in her sacral area. She is gonna know something. Will it work?
Sure.
I don't know, but it's gonna get me heading in the right direction.
All right.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, I think she's missing 1 or 2 vertebrae in the sacral section because it's a birth defect. So, for the longest time, she thought she couldn't dance because she was missing parts of her spine. And hey, she can dance, and she's beautiful at it.
Well,
she just needs, chiropractor. Which I'm like, yeah, I don't blame you.
Okay.
Yeah, you do what you have to do to keep it up.
If it works.
Yeah, if it works, it works. So, don't let anything hold you back from not dancing. So, that was my experience being petty, rewarding myself, and my reward for distancing myself from a bad, bad, bad situation. Jesus Christ.
Well, you knew that day was coming.
Oh, I knew it was coming. You mean the massage or the day I had to distance myself from the bad, bad situation?
From that group. People in different groups, they operate by a different set of rules.
No, I get that. I'm just like,
you don't, and you always find yourself an outsider. When you interact with those groups.
Exactly.
Then apparently the foundational operating system that they live by,
it doesn't work.
Doesn't work for you.
No.
So you'll eventually outgrow it, and you did.
No, I know. I'm just like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's a drag.
It's like I said a couple podcasts ago. It's like, I knew the answer anyway,
right,
and I'm still disappointed.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I did want to test it. I knew what the answer was going to be. I'm still disappointed.
Yeah. It's like clothes. Sometimes you outgrow them.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, you just have to get new clothes.
Yeah, I know. So, that basically was my main thing. And I'm happy about it.
Your petty activity of this week.
My petty activity of this particular week, yes. Which will soon become the petty activity of every month. Because I'm going there at minimum of every month.
It's a good idea.
There's actually... I don't know if they're still offering it because when I looked on their website, it wasn't there anymore. But I am curious because I saw it on their website around the time I was making the initial appointment that I just talked about. This place, I don't know if it's a seasonal thing or what, but this place offers, this joint is open from like either 9 or 10 till about 6, Yeah. This place had like an all-day pass.
Yeah.
From beginning of opening hours to the end of opening hours. A full day of getting pampered, all sorts of relaxation stuff, possibly more baths, definitely massage.
That sounds more like a spa.
Yeah, it is a spa. Like a spa.
Spa.
Yeah, I think there was like facial, it was included, possibly like seaweed wraps, because apparently that's a thing. What? Sure. I'm not questioning this. I don't know. Get turned into sushi. I don't know. So, So it was close to $600,
Ew.
but I went dibs
For 1 day?
for 1 day.
Ooh.
And I'm like, yeah,
Okay.
not every month, but it's going to happen. This is going down.
All right.
I have a new goal in life. And I'm only going to do it like every blue moon, obviously.
Sure.
You know, because I got other shit to do. Like, I do want to be there, like, going there, like, once a month,
Right.
obviously.
Right.
But at least once, maybe twice, I'm doing that all-day thing. Because they, like, give you food and drinks and... I don't remember exactly what the whole package entailed, but I remember it was from their opening hours until it closed. You were there all day.
For our $600 daily package, we'll do anything. And I said, lady, paint my house. Anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, that was like, oh, yeah, I'm
sure
going to fucking do it.
Yeah, I want to do. I want to find a place where I can do like 2 weeks of that.
Yeah, well, that would be more of a retreat, but
Exactly.
I would do that. I would do that
Exactly.
too.
That's what I want.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do nothing.
Yeah, you don't want to do nothing. You don't want to cook your food. You don't want to make your drinks.
Nope.
Yeah, you just want massages and people taking care of you and, you know, being good to you and all that.
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. That's what I want to.
Yeah.
So.
I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do it too. Damn. So, I like I said, for some reason when I looked back on their website, it was gone.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, if they bring it back. Or I'll find another place that does it. But still.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, I know, because I was like, oh, yeah, I want the all-day pass.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Because I deserve it. Because I'm not the fuck up.
Not today.
Not today. I do reserve the right to be a fuck up in the future.
Yeah.
But I also choose to forgive myself for when I do act like a fuck up and ask forgiveness for it if and when it is deserved.
That's right.
I know to take my lumps when necessary.
Gotta do it.
Anyway, yeah, gotta do it. All right. So that's what happened to me. Anything about you? Or should I just keep making shit up?
I mean, I don't know. The only stuff that goes through my mind on these, especially right now, is all the really serious political, socio-economic stuff. Yeah, I know it's a drag.
I don't care about the world's politics because everything is stupid. Nothing new is happening today that hasn't happened for 1,000 years. We just get the information faster than ever before.
Pretty much.
You know, oh, ineffective leader. Yeah, heard that one throughout history about 1,000 times. Oh, you know, this place that we just conquered and just got reconquered by the enemy. Oh, yeah, the Crusades. Been there, done that, chief.
Yeah.
It's like...
Spend decades and tons of money just to turn around and give it back to the original owners.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you going to do with that?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's almost like...
it was a ploy?
Well, most of that type of thing is a ploy.
No, I know it was you know, yes.
Personally, I think the original reason that we went into that region...
Oil?
Well, oil is a part of it.
Okay. Does this have anything to do with Charlie Wilson's war?
This is an aftermath of it.
Okay, I figured as much.
But no, I mean, I think there was such a bubble created in the late 90s.
Yeah.
With the internet and .com.
The .com bubble popped.
Popped, and I personally think that the war that we entered into after 9/11 was a deliberate attempt to softened the fall when that late 90s bubble popped.
Yeah, that does make sense because, and here's the thing that
Which it eventually hit. It eventually hit and got us in 2008.
Yeah,
they were just able to push it off by a couple of years.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of all at once.
All at once.
Sure. I mean, I remember learning that, we were in the Great Depression, and then World War II kicks off, and then all of a sudden we became an economic powerhouse just on the back of war.
Right.
So, I don't know what people were expecting. I still don't know what people are expecting. Like, we should, get involved in foreign affairs. And I'm like, oh, now you want to be an isolationist country.
Well.
And I'm also like, what did you expect? Technically, I hate to say it, but it kind of feels like the military-industrial complex, as much as I disagree with war, in some cases, I do believe it is a necessity, but just war for the sake of economics, I think it's the only thing that's still propping us up. That's the thing.
All these people that complain about imperialism, if it wasn't for imperialism, whatever electronic device that they buy today
wouldn't exist.
Well, they'd be paying at least double and triple for it.
Exactly.
Okay. That's how it works.
That's just how it works.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were to manufacture those goods in this country, they would cost a lot more.
Yeah.
And I'm not personally against that because I don't indulge in that level of spending once again because I don't have that level of spending.
Exactly.
And for that particular stuff, unless it was necessary to my lifestyle or work, I wouldn't be engaging in it anyway.
Indeed.
I don't
know, man.
So that's what I think.
Yeah, it's just like, guys, yes, the military-industrial complex is bad, but hey, guess what? It's probably the only thing keeping us propped up right now.
Like, there's only been, as far as in my knowledge, there's only been 2 countries that we've invaded in my lifetime that we don't have military bases at. That would be places like North Vietnam, North Korea, Iraq, and Afghanistan.
And guess what happened? They took that shit back.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, we would normally leave a base there, which means our influence, North America's influence, would still hold sway.
Yeah, exactly, but no.
No, I mean, I don't understand the geopolitical aspect of it to the point where they would say, okay, we're not going to at least keep an established base here. I don't know why it surprises anybody.
The fact that
how quickly the Afghanistan army failed.
They couldn't even do jumping jacks.
Well, the problem is, I mean,
like,
it's not
I saw
really
video
a problem.
footage.
I mean, put it
I'm
to you
like
this.
oh
okay,
God.
You live here.
Yeah.
And we have neighbors that live here.
Yeah.
Live here, from here, born here, grew up here.
Yeah.
Okay. And say, we're on a different side of the political fence from our neighbors. Maybe we are, maybe we aren't. I don't know.
Sure.
But what happened when we pulled our forces out of Afghanistan is that the quote-unquote local government army, the Afghanistan army, all their brothers and cousins and stuff, a lot of those people were in the Taliban.
Yeah.
So you got 2 choices. You can basically, us pulling out created a civil war.
Yeah.
And you got 2 choices if you're the government forces. You can continue to be opposite your brethren across the country.
Of course.
That you have to live with, that you can't leave, that you're going to have to deal with constantly. Or you can join them. And that's basically what happened. Okay, they talk about where the army failed or the army lost. The Afghanistan army didn't muster much resistance.
They didn't have a choice.
They weren't interested in mustering an advanced resistance because they have to live there. We can leave.
Yeah,
we're not from there.
They can't leave.
They can't leave. So
That's
they
why you saw
basically got to make peace with what's there.
Yeah. That's why you saw all the people who were, desperately trying to get, basically overcrowd the planes in order to get out of there.
Well, what's going to happen is, I don't know how long it's going to take. 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Sometime in the near future, or in the future, in our lifetime, we will see, a legitimate civil war take place.
Over there?
Because you have a 20-year generation of people who experienced, what we define in North America as freedom.
They experienced the not Taliban.
They experienced that for 20 years, and now they're going to lose it.
I kind of was
in the future.
I was kind of expecting something like that to happen with the Hong Kong situation, with China cracking down on it, but I know it hasn't gone away, but at the same time, it's like I don't hear about it no more. And I know it's not resolved, but it's like, what the fuck's going on over there?
Hong Kong is pretty much. It's not like. Not really a country.
Still.
It's just a big city.
No, I know, but you had a generation of people who had basically similar, if not the same values as the British held.
Right.
You had a generation of people who grew up, speaking English and their native tongue, having civil liberties.
Yeah, but they're not living in the dirt.
True.
These people over in Afghanistan will be living in the dirt.
Sure.
Creates harder people.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
They're warriors from birth.
Yeah.
Because they have to be.
It's a fucking desert.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a legitimate civil war between the generation.
I think within the next 10, 20 years, there's going to be a legitimate pushback on the power that is taking over right now.
Whether or not it pans out, I guess we'll see.
Well, the same kind of thing happened in Iran when during the 70s, Iran, quote unquote, was westernized, which is a buzzword for
Americanized?
Modernized. Not Americanized, but
modernized.
Although I can see where people would say those two are equal because we are providing the standard of living.
Sure.
The example of the standard of living.
Sure. Yeah, I just remember seeing these old black and white pictures of the, Iran, places around there in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Back in the early 70s, 60s, 50s, and there was, there was some pretty. It's almost night and day.
Yeah.
Because obviously there was some women wearing their hijabs, but some didn't.
Yeah, and I think there was during that period there was kind of a happy medium reached.
Sure.
During that, for lack of a better description, an update in their society.
Sure.
But what's been going on in Afghanistan has been totally westernized over the last 20 years.
Oh, yeah.
Modernized. So these people that are a part, especially people who were born at the beginning and then are now teens and 20s, they will see this new regime completely oppressive. Male or female, completely oppressive.
And at some point, they're not going to be happy about that.
I would imagine that the resistance is already in play.
Oh, of course.
So
there can't not be a resistance whenever some new form of power takes place.
Right.
It always happens. It's inevitable. So, it's just honestly just kind of sad because it's like, what the fuck was the point of all of that?
Yeah, what was the point of all of that?
Does that make sense?
It does.
And the sad part is, even if I was told the exact, if someone...
Well,
told me the exact reason why we went over there. I mean, yes, the 9/11 incident, yes, Osama bin Laden, yes, oil, yes, quote-unquote weapons of mass destruction that we gave them, like, decades ago to fight the Russians during the Cold War, etc., yada, yada, yada. If, hypothetically, someone were to give me the exact reason or reasons we went over there, I wouldn't be happy.
No.
I still would not be happy.
No.
That doesn't make me implacable. It's just, could you've not found another way?
I think they didn't find success to the level that they were expecting.
Of course not.
And now what's happened with the beer flu, it has, we don't have the money to sustain such a campaign any longer.
Nope.
So.
Had to leave.
Had to leave.
Yep.
Pack up and get out of town.
I'm actually curious what the fallout of all this is going to be.
Me too. Me too.
Because yes, we got
I don't think we've done ourselves any favor by leaving the area without putting a base in there.
Sure, but no, I don't mean in terms of the Afghanistan situation. I just mean the world in general.
Well, I mean, we're in a
because we're just kind of in this weird free floating period where we're still stagnant but trying to move forward. Slow progress towards something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm just trying to figure out, like, okay, at what point does just certain countries' economy just crash under? They just buckle under the weight of the corona.
Buckle probably. I don't know about crashing.
Sure.
We are.
We're technically buckling.
Yes, in North America, we're technically buckling.
Sure.
And it all goes back to. Where's the next great emerging market? The next great emerging market is China, is India, although I don't think India gets enough press.
No, they don't.
But what's going on there with the beer flu is, anybody's guess.
Yeah. No, I'm just trying to figure out, like, okay, at some point, sometime in the future, several countries around the globe are going to be looking at China going, hey, you did this.
Yeah.
And now you got to pick up the tab.
I think that's a high probability.
Mm-hmm.
But, demanding somebody pick up the tab and having them pick up the tab is two completely different. Because they're going to deny anything regardless.
Oh, exactly.
Regardless.
But, I actually was kind of... Now, I know this is Cheeto Man related, but I'm just like, why can't we say the precise origin of where it came from? Does that make sense?
Well, I think we have.
Exactly. I'm just like, why is it a problem for us to say it came from Wuhan, even though that city's probably been erased from their map?
Oh, no.
Well, you mean tell me that and scrub that city off of their own map?
Well, this is like the third pathogen that's arguably come out of there.
Yeah, that is true. There was like the bird flu, swine flu.
The MERS. SARS.
Really?
Yeah.
SARS?
SARS.
Came from oh, for fuck's sake.
And then MERS.
MERS?
Which is the Mediterranean Respiratory Syndrome or something like that.
Oh, for God's sakes.
That's my understanding. That's what I've read.
In
more than one place.
Of course.
And not from biased sources.
Of course. I'm just sitting here like, oh, for fuck's sake.
There's a whole lot of weird stuff going on.
Do
I think it's a big conspiracy? Honestly and truly, I don't think the people that are flying the plane are smart enough to for it to be a big conspiracy. But it could be.
It's going to turn into a big conspiracy regardless.
Well, people are going to, regardless. I don't care what side of the political fence you come down on.
Yeah.
There's definitely something off. And
it's called biological warfare, which is illegal.
So
I'm just curious as to why. Look, I get it's an emerging market. Here's the problem.
Yeah.
All right, look, I get the whole China situation. It is an emerging market. It's basically what Disney is pandering to nowadays, and I get it.
Right.
Because it's where the money's at.
Where the money's at.
I get it. For realsies. But at the same time, it's like, at what point do you say, okay, I think this is just not gonna work? You know what I mean by the powers that be?
Right.
Because I get it. This whole thing is, in a sense, basically just capitalism with extra steps. You know? Because the powers that be just want to make more money. That's it.
Right.
I get it. Same. But if they're starting to become a primary source of disease, for various reasons that seem more you see what I mean? Like, there's a difference between, it's like, you know, yes, benefit from the situation, but at what point does the cons outweigh the pros, and you just have to shut the whole thing down? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the powers that be can profit off the emerging market as long as they choose, but at some point it's like it's going to become a more danger to keep them around.
Well, we're still in the middle of a huge reset.
Mm-hmm.
And I really don't know exactly how we're going to come out on the other side.
I don't either.
The last major global pandemic lasted approximately 10 years.
The Black Plague?
The Spanish flu.
Oh.
And there were 3 great waves of it. Now, here we are in...
Technically the first wave?
Technically the second year.
Yeah.
And we're facing the second wave. So there's one more major wave coming. And these types of things, these are just natural cycles.
Sure. No, I get it.
Okay, what's happening with the mutations of the beer flu is just a natural progression of that type of process.
Yeah, these things mutate.
These things mutate. You know, sooner we reach herd immunity,
sure,
the better off everybody will be. But it's still going to be very bumpy for another year.
Oh, I know.
Maybe longer.
Oh, I know that.
I just find it so interesting how it targets older people.
How so?
Just does.
Well, doesn't most diseases target older people?
Yes. But...
Like, what are you talking about?
Just talking about something on this scale. It really targets older people. I don't know. I mean, I know there's been a cry out for a long time that people are living too long.
You mean to tell me you mean pre-pandemic, where pre-panini, where all these dumb motherfuckers were talking about the earth is overpopulated, people are living too long, and we need to kill at least 50% of the population in order to have a perfectly balanced ecosystem in order for humanity to perpetually live into the future type of people?
Well, that
because
has been suggested.
Because those motherfuckers shut up real quick once the panini started.
Nobody's talking about it now.
The only people who still talk about it are the really hardcore people who should be in straight jackets.
Well, they're all living in gated communities, so.
Well, they're close enough. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's just... You know what's so crazy? I may have told the story on air, but the closest I ever got to some crazy motherfucker telling me this whole thing about, you know, the earth is overpopulated and, you know, we need to cull humanity was my first retail job. I had a manager who he and I weren't exactly close or really good friends because he was kind of a hard ass. But I respected him because he was worth the trouble. And about a couple weeks before I turned in my 2-week notice, he and I got on this exact subject where we were talking about, you know, the earth is overpopulated and all this stuff. This was like 2015, 16, somewhere in there. Maybe 17, who knows. Definitely in that gap. where he straight up told me that not only did he believe the Earth was overpopulated, tremendously overpopulated, and that we needed to cull humanity. I asked him, I was like, okay, so, how do you feel about it? Tell me how you feel about it. What would you do? And this motherfucker, this isn't exactly what he said, but this is about what he said. He said that he believed that we need to do as the Mayans do, which was ritualistically sacrifice people in order to water the earth with human blood to make to make Gaia happy. This crazy sumbitch said that not only do we need to cull humanity, we need to ritualistically sacrifice some people in order to appease Mother Earth, water the earth with the blood of the unworthy. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
That sounds completely appetizing.
Yeah, very appetizing. I mean, don't you want your, morning cup of blood in the morning just to make you happy for the rest of the day?
I don't get people that operate like that.
Oh, fucking no. Well, here's the thing. This might go back to this whole thing where, now granted, I personally think it's a theory, but I don't think it's an actual theory because, well, whatever. My own personal thing of, in terms of any sort of religious or spiritual practice, people are wired different.
Yeah.
Some people can kneel, put their hands together and pray, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then there are some people who, they need to find, a place, and meditate and ponder, and that's their spiritual practice.
Yeah.
There are some people who they prostrate themselves before whatever aspect that they worship, that's their practice. There are people who cast spells. There are people who dance around bonfires. My whole thing is people are built different, so maybe that whole kneeling down and praying works for one person, but another person, they need the bonfire. Does that make sense?
That's probable, yeah.
This kind of explains why really big religion can get very ritualized. Like, say, Catholicism.
Yeah.
Very ritualized. But some people need the ritual.
Some people do need the ritual.
Some people need the structure of it.
They do.
Hey. And I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying we're built different. You could,
What?
Church camps have bonfires. So that's their bonfire for whoever needs the bonfire.
Sure.
It's just all connected.
I don't know if they all have bonfires.
No, they all don't have bonfires. I'm just saying it doesn't matter what it is, who it is. The tea-posing god, the guy who brews their tea, Yahweh, the guy you can't draw their guy. Especially the people where you can't draw their guy.
Oh, yeah, they're very rich.
Hinduism, Buddhism to an aspect.
I don't know much about Hinduism.
Yeah, I'm working on that. Here's the thing. Hinduism has been around for thousands of millennia.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. As split, the T-posing religion, there's all sorts of doctrines and interpretations of the scripture.
Right.
Okay, I want you to times that by about 10,000. That's basically Hinduism.
Well, I know. That's why they have like 33 million gods.
Yeah. Or at the very least, they either have 33 million gods or it's all just different facets of the same 6 or 7.
Yeah, well,
this
thing has a god.
Durga and Shiva are the same. Durga and Kali are the same person, technically, in a way. Shiva is depicted in different ways. Ganesh is depicted in different ways. Like, it's like the same 7 to 8 people, but they're just applied in different aspects.
Sort of.
You know.
They'll even entertain the god of T-posing.
Yeah.
I have heard this more than once, this type of story more than once since a child, but then I worked with someone a few years ago who was born and raised in the country that's mostly known for Hinduism. And her village was, there's a local T-posing religion college.
Yeah.
That had an outreach ministry into their country.
Yeah.
Which this person's father joined and became a bigwig in that country regarding this matter.
Okay.
And she would tell me stories about how the Hindu priests, they had somebody that they couldn't heal or make better.
Yeah.
She can remember as a child this procession of Hindu priests bringing this individual who they had been praying to their gods about, bring this person into the compound that was
this outreach program,
and tell them that if they didn't heal this person, they'd kill him.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And it was a very interesting story because, she's like, talk about pressure. Yeah, talk about pressure. So they will even default to I guess a good perspective would be they will default to other gods.
Indeed.
Other than their gods.
Sure.
Or God other than their God.
Yeah.
So it just, it's an interesting thing. I honestly and truly, it's kind of madness when you have you got a God for everything that you do and everything you see and everything different.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
How it operates.
Sure.
I don't understand it as well as I'd like to.
Sure.
But I've heard that story before.
Oh, yeah?
Even when I was a kid.
Yeah, this is why I personally study, the philosophy behind stuff like Buddhism and Hinduism.
Yeah.
Rather than the actual, I guess, sermons, per se, Because, negative wisdom in the most unexpected places. All that fun stuff.
Well, a lot of times you see, I know I did, based on my experience, you see how something can be corrupted and then become a corrupted understanding can become tradition.
Oh, I know.
Like all these people this drives me crazy. I see these people during Easter, in other countries, they'll nail themselves to a cross or something like that.
I've seen that.
Really?
It's like, dude.
It's like droves of people beating themselves with whips and
literally bearing their own cross.
Literally.
It's
I
why?
understand you want to have a symbolic parade.
That's not symbolic. That's actuality.
People are suffering and bleeding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all.
I'm like, God, okay, whatever.
That cross was born, that blood was shed, that price was paid.
You don't have to do that.
I don't understand what these people are doing. But anyway.
I don't know either.
I get where it comes from.
Sure, but...
It's legalism because people believe in legalism.
That's the word of
the
law.
Well, here's what you're seeing.
Spirit.
I'm going to tell you something. You're seeing legalism in our modern culture today. The cancer culture is completely legalistic. Basically, what they're saying is if you don't follow this pattern of behavior, if you don't agree with this line of thought,
you're kicked out of the club.
You're kicked out of the club.
Yeah.
Okay. You have an electric car. You have a low carbon footprint. You don't eat meat, but you're still consuming milk, which is an animal product. Yeah. Well, you're just not as good as us. You're not as pure as us. You're not as dedicated as we are. Mm-hmm. Therefore, you are exorcised, you are on the outside, you are canceled. It's kind of like, it's that same religious fervor that I grew up.
Except this is more secular.
It's all secular.
Yeah.
And it's just human beings. It's just human beings
and it's
saying
sociology.
that, you know, oh, hey, if you don't believe exactly like we believe, if you don't think exactly like we think, if you don't want to experience the world exactly the way we experience it, then you're not human. Mm-hmm. You don't deserve to live.
Yeah, I also keep seeing stuff like on social media and stuff about this. Okay, I don't know if this is just the circles that I keep finding myself in, but there seems to be this. I know. Off podcast, you have talked about like a spiritual boom coming, and I do believe it is coming. But the main thing I keep seeing is more of a human intrinsic / well, not exactly in the same ring, but basically a human centered, like finding oneself, understanding what the soul is, understanding you,
right?
The true you, not just the meat suit, not just your name, your title, your job, your dog, your family, you,
right?
Not the voice in your head, the you, the soul,
right?
And a little bit of a boom in the pagan region as well. You know, people going back to worshiping like Greek pantheon, Egyptian pantheon, Norse pantheon, and all sorts of stuff. And it's like,
I don't think there's been an uptake in that particular percentage of the population.
Sure.
I just think they get more press now.
Sure. Okay, that might make more sense.
Because of social media, they're able to make themselves more aware.
Yeah.
More public.
Yeah.
And
I know.
And have a membership.
Sure, exactly.
Join our club.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason I bring this up is because obviously there's the people who, they're trying their best.
Yeah.
And I give them respect. And then there's the people who are just in this weird, nowadays the term is called spiritual bypassing, where it's like all positivity all the time. We don't let that darkness in, light and love only. And it's like, ma'am, you cannot be happy all of the time. You have to be sad, mad, and upset at some point in your life.
Right.
And it's basically, say someone, close to you had died and someone is trying to tell you, oh, just be happy, think positive thoughts, don't think anything negative, don't think anything sad, in a sense that they're calling it spiritual bypassing, to where you're not processing the very real human emotions from such a loss as you should, which is natural.
Right. Yeah, loss is a part of life.
Loss is a part of life.
It just is.
It just is. And I keep seeing stuff like that, it's like, oh, in order to be spiritual, you must meditate every day, you must always be positive, you can't eat meat, and I'm like, what the fuck are you people talking about? You're younger than me, how do you know this?
Right.
That's what gets me.
They have the same sources that you have access to.
Exactly, and it's like, look, I'm actually reading books, that talk about, processing your emotions and how to communicate better as a person, and basically I'm basically just doing the advice you kept telling me when I was a kid. Eat the meat throughout the bones.
That's all you can do.
Get rid of what doesn't work for you and keep what does. That's literally what I'm doing.
That's all you can do.
And it's all you can do.
All you can do.
So there you go.
There you go.
I'm tired and I got places to be. And I got something to take care of.
Ooh.
So, you got anything else?
No, I'm getting there.
All right.
I've been a little subdued the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
But I'll get there.
When's the new thing starting? Next week?
Next month sometime.
When?
By the end of the month is all I know. I'll find out tomorrow.
If they jerk you around and extend it...
No, No, it's done.
I'm about to say, like, if they're gonna be like, oh, actually, it's gonna be after the 1st of next year,
No.
you are going to quit on the spot.
Yeah, I'm gonna quit on the spot.
Because no, you have been told and promised, and you just said it was a done deal.
It is, because I've had a conversation now that I got a similar position last year because of restructuring because of the beer flu.
Yeah.
Was pulled back
because of the beer flu.
I've actually had the word said to me, here is the offer. And I said the words, I accept your offer.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's done. Mm-hmm. That did not happen before.
Yeah.
Because the process was ended before I got to that point.
Good.
So it's done.
I'm just telling you.
I know. I'm beat.
Yeah.
First responder. Woo!
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Yeah, I know you're tired.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
I know.
Anyway, well, that's it, folks. I was your host, Bel-E.
And I was your co-host, Mr. Scratch.
And we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Goodbye.